Hello everybody and welcome back to day 9 of the 12 days of RJ's trains. And how could it be Christmas without the Polar Express? So let's get into it. So this is the brand new Lionel LionChief Bluetooth 5.0 Polar Express that just arrived in stores about a week ago, just in time for Christmas. The Polar Express is usually one of the first train sets that little kids ever get, and that's because it's just a fantastic set, and it's a very iconic train, especially around the holiday season. When I was a little kid, I never got the original Lionel Polar Express train set because my dad had a friend who collected trains. He bought one of the original Polar Express sets and said that it was a piece of garbage. And so because of that, when I was little, my parents would never buy me the Polar Express because they thought it was a piece of junk. Well, now that I'm older and I have my own job, I figured that it was time that I finally took the plunge and purchased a LionChief Polar Express set. Now, there's also the Scale Legacy version out there, but to drop a few grand on a locomotive, as well as $150 to $200 per passenger car, I'd much rather prefer this LionChief set for less than $330. So in today's video, let's unbox these sets. You'll see everything that it comes with. And then for my favorite part, we're going to run it around the Christmas tree as well as on my layout. You'll be able to hear all of the sounds, all of the smoke, all of the lights, and all the great details that come with this set. So let's get into it. Now, the deck on the observation car comes separate from the passenger car itself. You can see here there are two little slots here at the end and two little tabs here on the ends of the observation deck. So to attach, all you do is line up the tabs. And well, after some fiddling, I finally got it on. Make sure to consult your owner's manual before installing. Overall, everything included in the set is this LionChief Bluetooth Berkshire Polar Express steam locomotive, one regular coach car, a second coach car with the disappearing hobo, the observation car with observation deck on the end, your own bell. The set comes with 4 figures: Mr. Conductor, the Fireman, Hero Boy, and the Engineer, which can be placed on the engine and passenger cars, as well as the remote for operation. Now, one thing I do want to note is that you can also control this engine with your own smartphone, downloading the LionChief app. Unfortunately, I use my phone to record these videos, so I cannot show using the app in this video, but there are countless other videos online from Lionel's product page showing you how to use this engine with Bluetooth control. Now, the one thing that you are going to have to do before you can fire up your Polar Express is adding batteries to your LionChief remote. Now, the batteries are not included, so you have to get them separately, and it takes 3 AAA batteries. To add batteries, it is quite simple. You just take off this back latch here. Put in your batteries. And just like that, now when you hit the on button, the red light comes on, signaling that you have power. And the last thing that you need to do before firing up this engine is adding some smoke fluid. Now, the Lionel smoke fluid is included with the set, but personally, I prefer a different brand of smoke fluid just because it's scented like vanilla. So I'm going to put this, but the Lionel one works just fine. But you do want to add the smoke fluid before starting because then you can burn out the smoke unit and you don't want that. And to add the smoke fluid, you just place the dropper into the funnel, put in a few drops, and make sure to blow into the smokestack to make sure it gets in there. And before we fire this thing up, I just want to have one disclaimer. I have picked up 2 of the add-on cars, the hot chocolate car and the dining car. So you're going to see 5 passenger cars in this video. Like we went through earlier, it only comes with 3, but I went for the total of 5 because that's how many passenger cars we see in the movie. All right, and now let's fire this thing up. The first thing you're going to need to do is apply track power. Now that you hear that chirping sound, it means that the train has power, but it can't find the remote. So we'll power on the remote and the sound should turn on. And now let's roll her out.
The Polar Express.
Well, that about wraps it up for today's video. Overall, I really love this Lionel Polar Express set, and I'm really glad to finally have one in my collection. It's been a long time coming now, and it was certainly a piece I was missing, and I'm glad to finally have it. Now, if you're in the market for one yourself, when you Google a Lionel Polar Express set, the first couple of search results that are going to come up are either Amazon or the Lionel store, and they're going to want to charge you over $450 for this thing. My suggestion is look for some model train stores such as Charles Row, Train World, or even small local hobby shops like my own, Toy Trains and Collectibles in Manassas, Virginia. There at those stores, you can get it for less than $350, and I only paid $330 for my own. So don't be bamboozled by the prices. You can find these relatively more affordable than those big name sites. Well, for now, take care, stay safe, Merry Christmas, and make sure to tune back in at 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. We're going to be taking a look at the brand new Lionel Legacy SW8.